You're listening to the soothing sounds of the Irritable Bosco and Spider podcast. This program is brought to you by contributions by viewers like you. Thank you. Now, enjoy your IBS experience.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the IBS podcast. Happy New Year, everybody, out there in the lands, the IBS lands.
That's right. 2021, COVID is officially over.
Yes, officially. Just cross it off your list. Not even a thing anymore. You can go out. You can smoke J's with your buddies. You can do cocaine off of strippers' butts. Most of all, you can cough in another person's face without getting punched in the face by somebody else really close enough.
And you can be the recipient of that cough and swallow it.
which is half the reason I like to go to bars in the first place.
That's right.
No more funny looks when I blow snot rockets.
Brian's Dungeon of Pleasure will be open again in 2021, I feel like. Is that right?
Yes, with new improvements, better service, and more disappointment than ever.
Yes, no masks, unless you bring your own mask. Brian
Right,
doesn't supply the rubber masks anymore.
Yeah, that's we like pleather here. You know, animal friendly and just the way there's no allergic reactions to those kind of masks, and yeah, that's what we're working with now.
Perfect.
Brian, I can see you being like one of those like BDSM kind of people like that wears like that executioner mask and just kind of like in the corner. Exactly.
Mike, my mom is listening.
I mean,
just kidding. We already know nobody's listening. So.
You can say whatever you want.
That's right.
We know that Brian's brother Chris is listening. We've learned that on many occasions because he.
This is only gonna bite us in the ass when Brian runs for senator in 3 years, and they're trying to find dirt on him. We just so happen to find the IBS podcast.
Do you want this man to be your senator? Brian's just over there being like.
and they have a superimposed executioner's mask on my face. like the hooded one, not the
Brian White, Gimp.
That could be anybody. That literally could be anybody.
Do you want to vote for a man? Like, do you want to vote for a man that can't get it up?
Or worse, a man that can't put it back down.
That's right. They just kind of like do like that montage of like, yep, the man like in the denim jacket is like, yep, I won't vote for a man that can't get it up.
Me being a man that struggled with not being able to get it up for years, I'm definitely not voting for another man that can't get it up. Satisfy my mind while I watch.
I'm 80 years old, and I've been living here for a while now, and I don't want to vote for a man that can't get it up either.
I wonder if Viagra has gone up or down during the pandemic, or do you think it's had its ups and downs?
Is that supposed to be some sex joke?
It was steadily going up for 8 hours there, but then it had to go see its doctor.
I think Viagra stock has been up for about 4 hours, and then it steadily went down. Yeah.
So, how was your guys' New Year? I mean, what did you guys end up doing? Did you guys just stick around? What did you guys end up doing over the last 48 hours?
B-Rat?
Well, because nobody's getting together and everybody else requested the day off, and I am very, very single and still kind of recovering from the after effects of COVID, mostly fatigue and plain old depression. I went to work.
Wait, so did you actually get COVID?
Yeah. So back on the 11th. Yeah, this is my first public letting people know. So basically, on the 11th, I was like didn't want to get out of bed, sick, and then on the 12th, same thing, and then by the 13th, I was like feeling better. No problem eating, no loss of taste, no this or that, just like a nasty cough and just kind of like fatigue. I don't even know if I had a fever. I didn't quite feel like I had a fever. Just aches and pains. And then basically had a cough real bad like for the next 5 or so days after that, and went for a follow-up appointment the next Monday, so 10 days after my symptoms started. I went to the doctor like 3 days after, then went for a follow-up 10 days after that, and they were like, yeah, your symptoms have improved, so yeah, you should be able to go back to work and go to the grocery store and maintain normal life again with social distancing in mind and wearing a mask. I'm like, are you sure?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Because I was still coughing. I'm still, as you guys heard earlier, I'm still coughing, but I'm, just taking Mucinex, and it's been like this for 2 weeks now.
Well, to be clear though, you've probably been coughing for the past like 12 years.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what I have an inhaler for. So.
Yeah, so there's always some sort of congestion going on with you, so that's not really something. Is
this our opening rant? Because you know what really grinds my gears? COVID-19. You know what?
You want to vote for a man that can't get it up and also has COVID?
He brought it to this. He's making the super spreader event. He stayed home and everything.
I want someone that's weak, gets COVID, wimp.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because
vote for a guy like Chris Sununu, who's never done anything wrong in his life.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I was around everybody the week before, and no one else got sick to my knowledge.
So do you know what I guess triggered it, or where you got it from, or?
So it was either basketball on Monday night, like basically. So it would have been like the 4th or the 5th. And then on the like the 4th, I guess the 4th or the probably the 6th or the 7th. That's where it is. And then didn't feel anything until the next weekend, because otherwise it was the hotel. I mean, I'm still working at the hotel, having people, essential workers coming through and people who claim that they're quarantining and blah blah blah. I don't know where these people have been, and how are we supposed to like hand them the keys? Like, supposedly I'm more of a danger to them than they are to me. Anyway,
you gotta use protection, Brian. You gotta hand them their keys and condoms like the old days.
So you put the condom over your face and you kill yourself.
Yep, put it over your nose. Make it grow really, really tall, and then pop.
You saran wrap your face, and you slowly die.
you slowly asphyxiate yourself.
That's right. See, the one thing I do appreciate, though, is that, so you got COVID on the 11th. It's now January 2nd. We never heard a damn thing about this going on. So I appreciate the fact that you saved this for the podcast so that you can have something to talk about.
Well, I didn't want to go
That
around
shows dedication to the craft.
Saving the good stories, the good, juicy, meaty stories for the podcast. That's what we
Yeah.
needed. You know?
Well, the best part was the 2 weeks off. So the doctor cleared me after 10 days. They're like, "Oh yeah, you can go back to work." I'm like, "Are you sure?" And then I called my work and my assistant manager. I was like, "So I'm still coughing, but the doctor says I can come back to work because I don't have a fever." And she's like, "Brian, stay home for another few days."
My proctologist says that I have a great ass. It's like, all right, let's stay home. I went to Sunday River for the New Year and had to wear a mask in a hot tub.
An outside hot tub?
Inside hot tub. It was
I thought you don't have to wear your mask outside.
Well, it was we went to the Grand Summit, and which is like a ski on, ski off hotel kind of deal. And the outside pool, you did not have to wear your mask in the pool, but you had to wear the mask in the hot tub, which was like connected to the pool by just like kind of like in my pool, how you have that kind of like you jump over to get into like the jacuzzi thing.
Yeah.
They have that. And of course, there was like half the people. It was a huge jacuzzi. There was probably like you could fit probably on a good day you could put like 8 to 10, 15 bodies in there, stacked up on each other.
I was hoping you were gonna say 15-year-olds, but yeah, okay, 15 bodies. That's whatever.
Yeah, it was just a bunch of girls with douchey Chad guys and then girls with long bikinis on. That me and Jane on.
Reminds me of my.
We'll just like not sucking in at all, just letting it all.
Reminds me of my eighth grade trip to Florida.
It was kind of funny because all the other guys, like they had like a rent-a-cop that was thrown around, being like, "Hey, put your mask on." And then he would be like, "You can't drink in the hot tub." And the guy's like, "I'm not drinking, but the can's right over there." He was like, "No, you can't drink alcohol." He was like, "Oh, this isn't alcohol." He goes, "That's a beer can." He goes, "All right, fine, I won't drink." We're like, "Dude, why are you arguing with this guy? Like, he knows."
Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, go. Now it's an empty beer can."
Yeah, you see what I did, Molly? Yeah, I see what you did.
It's so lame though, like the how you have to wear like a mask like in the hot tub. Yeah. I remember like when like COVID like first like came out, like so I think what they're trying to figure out like which college athletics like we're gonna still be around come school time, and like we think
anyone
swimming.
That make money.
Yeah, well they're like we think swimming is a good one to be socially distant, but we want the swimmers to wear masks. And so I'm like, that's gotta be the dumbest idea, because they'd all be dead in like a minute. That, or like you'd have to just go, do like one full lap in the pool just without breathing, and that would be like the greatest swimming achievement.
It's more like
we want them to do professional diving, but they have to wear hazmat suits.
It's more like they're all overqualified to become Marines now because it's basically they're waterboarding themselves.
They all become like Navy SEALs. So, we want you to do the high dive, but with this cinder block. That's good, boss. My New Year's was pretty quiet. It was just me, the wife, and one of her friends, and just kind of hung out and just played games. Maybe. I got drunk.
Doesn't sound like you.
What's that?
Doesn't sound like you.
No, I don't know. And another thing that doesn't sound like me was that it only took me like 30 minutes to get me drunk.
Dude, were you having Long Island iced teas, Mike?
No, but close. I was trying to. So like as soon as I got out of work, I'm like, all right, I've just been anticipating drinking So you know what happens when you like anticipate it? You tend to go
Yeah,
like
you get some
hard at
road
the
sodas
beginning.
on the way home.
And so the commute from my office to the kitchen, and I made a little concoction called Purple Fizz, which like consists
God.
of like what was it?
We lived through the 90s, Mike. We know what that is.
No, you don't. It was it was like vodka, gin, blue curacao, and some other stuff, and like a splash of Sprite, basically. Like, I think I'll have another one.
I made this concoction called the Bloody Asshole. Bloody Asshole is like an old fashioned. Only you put grenadine in there and you throw it at your wife.
It's like you make an old fashioned, then you try to shove it up your ass until the glass breaks.
Don't remind me of those YouTube or whatever, wherever we found those online back in the day.
The internet.
The kids these days, they don't know what the golden age of the internet was.
That's right, the golden age, the golden showers.
Golden age where somebody came over and was like, "Look at this." And you're like, "Oh, what is this?"
And then you were like, "Oh, I can never unsee that ever again."
You're like, "Oh my god, I've never seen that before."
I think we were the inventors of that phrase.
Oh, it's just two girls eating hot chocolate. Nope. Fuck.
It's just like a guy chopping his dick off with a cleaver.
Was that the Pain Olympics?
Yeah.
Yeah. I never thought those were real. I always thought those were fake.
No, they're
No,
real.
Mike, that's the transgender community before transgender was okay.
Ugh.
I don't even think it's okay.
Caitlyn Jenner would be all over your ass.
Oh.
More ways than one.
All right.
I was watching. I was gonna say. I was
All right,
watching.
we're off track.
Gotta move on.
Oh.
We only have so much time,
We
young.
got that all out of New Year's.
Yeah, we gotta get to new segments, new transitional music. Like right here, gonna be new transitional music.
And what does this music identify as?
This is instrumental pop punk 2019. Oh, my heart's on fire. It's really cold out. My heart's on fire. Dad, stop yelling at me.
There was a band that you used to listen to in college. It was the Hollywood Undead.
Oh,
where they had like the white masks and like they looked like they wanted to like shred, but then like I heard them and it was just like very like poppy and like it kind of threw me off a little.
5 dudes in masks, all rappers, evidently.
Exactly.
So this next segment is more going back on New Year's expectations and stereotypes that are overused. So I think that the number one stereotype that gets overblown every year that they make movies about, because I watched that movie New Year's Eve.
New Year's Day.
Is it New Year's Day? New Year's Eve?
I've seen that.
It's got like Ashton Kutcher in it and a bunch of other random people.
No, that's Valentine's
Jennifer
Day.
Garner always ends up in those movies, and
Yeah, there was like a shit ton of people in that movie, but I think number one is, I'll say that for last, but I think that let's go number 3 expectation is that like you're just gonna nonstop drink your way to midnight and wake up the next morning and just feel fine and just go about your day. And it never happens because I got wrecked on champagne and I woke up the next morning and I puked for a solid 45 minutes before going
I
to
gotta
sleep.
drive back down to
Dude.
Mass.
Do you remember going to Steve's and didn't we like try to go to breakfast, or we went to breakfast the next day, didn't we?
Yes.
And I could not eat anything.
Couldn't eat anything either. This is such a waste of a breakfast.
It's like trying a new place. Oh yeah, cool. Like going out with Steve and Jen and nope, nope. That's nope. not
Dude,
happening.
I remember last year I had first of all, that was the night that we played Buzzed in the hotel room, where we were flipping cards and having to drink whenever they say if you
Oh
have
yeah, I remember my card, and because I was wearing all black, and it said, "For all those who are wearing all black on New Year's Eve, this is not a funeral; it's New Year's Eve. Drink."
We went through 18 beers between
Wasn't
4 of us.
Yeah.
Because your brother showed up too at one point, and he was just like, "How many beers have you guys drank?" And we were like, "Well, we're on to shots now."
Was this like New Year's / your birthday in Boston a couple years ago?
Oh no, that was that was 3
Oh.
years ago.
Yeah, that was a few years ago. With
Yeah,
Drew and the
How
gang.
recent was this one?
We went to this one was last year. The one that you're talking about was 2000 and bringing in I think 2009.
I think it was your 30th, right?
Yeah. So I'm 33 now.
Ah!
But yeah, that's when we went to. That's when we went to the what's it called? That bar that's underneath Fenway.
Oh, Bleacher Bar.
Bleacher
Yeah,
Bar.
we went there.
And the
I
guy
remember
kept.
the girl that I brought there, at the end of the night, fell backwards and smashed her head against the street, and I was like, "Oh no, Nicole, you okay?" And she was like, I remember, she was like, "Yeah, I'm fine," and then a day later,
And then her eyes rolled in her head.
massive headache. I was you probably got a concussion from smashing your head on Lansdowne Street. It was like,
Fine. I'm fine. Just give me a minute.
full blown seizure on Lansdowne Street.
She got donkey punched by the concrete.
I remember Alyssa was in rare form too that night. Where she
I
was
remember
just,
you guys at one
where she
point
was
just snuck over to the other side.
yeah. And Alyssa, I remember, I think we went someplace after, and she was like, "On to the next floor."
Oh yeah, that was the one where we went to. It was we went to some Scottish bar, right? And we saw the bathroom was named after someone. And I was like, we dedicate this bathroom in the name of freaking O'Malley McFinnigan or whatever. I'm like,
oh yeah.
that's when you know you reach the bottom, when you have a bathroom named after you.
Wasn't that the same bar that we went to, the first bar that we went to for Ryan Johnson's bachelor party?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, maybe that's what. I'm getting
It
my
was
next confused.
it was the Ryan Johnson Memorial bathroom.
I'm really getting my drunken escapades in Boston confused. Yeah, that's another one. I think that was the night where Galvani just didn't eat anything all day.
Yes. The burger from Tasty Burger, and it was what was it, 11:30? He was like, so
I really have to eat.
is there anywhere around here that I can get a sandwich or something? I'm like, dude, where are you expecting to get a gluten-free sub right now? There's a 7-Eleven. Oh, man.
It's halal, gluten free.
Halal.
At that point, I'd be like, all right, you just gotta bite the bullet, just eat the gluten, and just deal with the consequences. This will all be over soon. It'll be a glorious night in the toilet.
Yeah, and these are all the reasons why you wake up the next morning and you're not able to go about your daily life. That's why everybody gets the day off on New Year's Day.
Yes.
That's right.
So do you guys think that ever doing hair of the dog would actually work when it comes to a hangover? Do you think that drinking half of what you drank last night would be a smart idea, or would you just get fucking blacked out again?
I think I would just. I think what would happen is I would just puke my brains out, and that might cure the hangover.
The jury's still out on that one.
What's that?
The jury's still out on that one for me, even though it actually kind of worked that time we went to King's with Evan, Wahlburgers first, and then we went to King's.
Yeah. You're doing shots of Jack Daniels at 10 o'clock in the morning.
No, they were neat. They had to serve them in a glass, regular glass.
I don't know, man. I've never became like a Bloody Mary guy, so I wasn't sure if that was ever like a thing, like drinking vodka in the morning, or like being a suburban housewife, if that actually works.
I don't know. They had there was a video on YouTube with like Bert Kreischer and the guy that does the Hot Ones, Sean Evans. And they were trying like all these different hangover like dishes. So they like from like all over the world. And so they had one that was like it was from like Germany where like you had it would look like an anchovy, but it was like raw like fish, and you like wrapped it. It was like they wrapped it with like, or they they put something like in the middle, and they like wrapped the fish around it, and they like ate it. It's probably like
sour
fish
cream in the middle.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It looked like a hard boiled egg probably, but it looked real disgusting. It probably was. Yeah.
Probably just get you a yak.
Give you a yak.
Mirror. Mirror. Mirror.
New Year's stereotype is that you're gonna go to a super fancy party and it's gonna be great and it's all gonna work out, and
then there's Bush Latte there.
Nothing is gonna happen that's gonna ruin your fancy party. I feel like that's bullshit because I've never been to a New Year's that ever turned out good. Even and we all was like I ended up ripping the shit out of like a $125 suit that I found in like my parents' upstairs closet. Anybody?
I think one of the stereotypes is once the clock turns midnight, everything's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. Like nothing, like all your troubles that you had yesterday, is gone. Totally wiped away.
Which brings us to our number one stereotype.
You will get chlamydia if you have sex with that girl.
100%.
They have stereotypes for a reason, yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, I assume,
Midnight kiss is overrated sometimes.
yeah, I assume that's the number one stereotype that we were counting down to. Seeing as I have my extensive notes from everything we went over earlier, written down here on my hand.
Angelina Jolie.
That's right. Angelina Jolie and Steven Tyler have probably some of the sloppiest lips I've ever seen.
Wait, on their face?
Just loose lips. Loose lips.
Yeah.
What did you do for New Year's? Did you do anything? Do you know if you did anything?
Be right.
What happened?
Oh, I said, do you know if Owen did anything for New Year's?
Owen was in bed by 9 o'clock, which he's usually in bed on a weeknight by 9 o'clock, I believe.
Well, he does have work on Monday.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know. Like, what was it? New Year's New Year's Day was on a Friday, so he had a three-day weekend.
So I don't know if that's true or not. If like he went to bed at like 9 on a Saturday or Friday, but does he have a? Is there like kind of like a method? Like, does he like get up super early in the morning, or does he need to get his 11 hours of sleep?
Yeah. No, yeah, he's usually up early in the morning. Like for the weekdays and like the weekend is relatively early. We were on a good streak of going to the gym, and that fell off as soon as I got sick. So,
what time you go? What time you go to the gym though?
Normally we would go like Saturday mornings around like 10 or 11. So.
Okay, but so that means that he's waking up at 5, And what's he doing until then?
Workout, young, drinking pre-workout.
Yeah.
You gotta
Get
get
a whole
into
tub of it.
If you're not drinking creatine at 6:30 in the morning, you're not.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of pre-workouts, I just bought myself some pre-workout. I'm excited to try it.
Yeah.
I'll let you know how it goes.
You're gonna freebase it, just like put it on the table.
Just snort it.
I'm so energetic.
I'm just gonna take a handful of it and just like shove it up my ass.
But for 25 on each side, and squat.
We're gonna have like the most like energetic colon. I'm just gonna be like just diarrhea.
Whoa, I heard that was one of the symptoms of COVID. The CDC website, get that checked out.
Mom, my anus is so hyperactive right now.
Oh my God! Yeah, no, you gotta go get tested. So if your only symptom was diarrhea, would you have to go to the drive-up window and get your butt swabbed?
Yeah, Chipotle.
Is that what they tell you? Your test results come back? Yes, Chipotle.
Ah, yes, pico de gallo.
Bad case of underwear blood.
Oh, speaking of which, so
I don't like this transition.
Oh no. Mute. Where's the mute?
This is the IBS podcast, so we gotta let this.
Oh, that's right.
yeah, it's the unrated version. Yeah, nothing worse than like going into the bathroom. Nothing worse than like going into the bathroom like after a woman comes out and seeing like blood all over the toilet.
Yeah, because you can't tell where it's coming from. Hey, at least hell's warm.
Either you have it's your time of the month, or you got some really bad gingivitis.
Or you got a husband or a boyfriend that likes butt stuff. There you go. Said it. What's our time limit?
It's like, and that's how we ended the show.
40 minutes, so we got to do this last segment really good. So the last segment that we had, I think we should go with.
I got it. So on the topic of like just like the new year and like everyone's got their whole plans and like what their goals are, but like what's your like everyone's got like their own kind of like daily kind of regimen, so to speak. And so whether that's you have kind of like a process for how you like go about the day, and like we all work in like a similar environments where like we're all client facing to some degree. And I know Mike and I work in more sales environment, and I think Brian, I mean, you might have some aspect, but it's a lot of just kind of making people happy. And just I think you always have to just, since you are like client facing, like you always have to be like mentally on. But do you like so with that, like do you guys have like kind of like a daily process, whether that's work related or if it's just personal? Like so like for me particularly, like I'm more of like I'm a to-do list kind of guy, so I have to write shit out, and I'm not going to. First off, I have like major like procrastination and like ADD, so if I don't write stuff down, I'm not gonna get anything done at all. And that also like, I think trying to find like a way to like just not hate life, like every single morning, right?
Yes. Hey, Mike, how do you know if a kid has ADD?
What?
You look a bird.
You want to go ride bikes?
Brian, ADD jokes. I like it.
Yes. Yeah, I've come to grips with I do the list thing where I fill up a whole page, and then I try not to get defeated when I only get one of those things done that day.
Because you understand that everyone called out of work and you can't do it.
I physically cannot leave the desk that long to go fix go replace a PTAC unit or go try to find the breaker to turn on the whatever breaker was tripped in whatever room, or I don't know. There's a whole bunch of junk that happens, and everything falls on me at my work. So it's not everything, but I mean, like, basically, like, my other manager, like, thank God for other people that I work with sometimes, right? Am I right?
Yeah, right.
You're only as good as your weakest link, and blah 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 blah. And so I have a great number 2, and she's, like, basically more knowledgeable than me in some areas, which is great. And I'm just like, here, take this.
Delegating. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
Me being in more recruiting and things like that, I have, like, not really a list, but, like, I usually have, like, a bunch of phone calls I gotta make, so I just, like, fill out my calendar and full bullshit. And if I do, like, 3 hours worth of, like, actual work, I usually, like, reward myself somehow. Like, that's the way I keep myself motivated. Whether that is, like used to when I was working at my last company, they had, like, all this, like, free food and snacks and soda and bullshit. So if I got, like, things going with, like, one hiring manager, I'd go and, like, chug a Red Bull or whatever, or, like, get, like, a bunch of snacks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, mostly it was just kind of like, keeping sane throughout the day was, like, listening to, like, metal, or, like,
so, like, so how
the next thing they're gonna do.
So how do you get past, like, the mundane, because, like, it's very much like, it's phone based, a lot of times we're having to do outbound, and it's like half the time it's like, why the fuck, like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, you definitely get, like, the 2 p.m. like crash at like 9 in the morning, and I've definitely had times where, like, I think part of it might be, like, you're so fucking busy where, like, you don't have, like, any time to really, like, take a break, and then, like, I'll wake up Monday morning.
Crazy.
What's that? Yeah.
Forget to go to the bathroom.
yeah, that too. I'll wake up. I've definitely had times where, like, I've woken up and maybe it's like 30 minutes before, like, my shift starts, and it's like I am, like, mentally just fog, and then I have to, like, just chug, like, 5 cups of coffee just to get, like, the energy, and then take all of, like, your supplements and all that stuff.
The drugs?
You're doing that cocaine stuff?
That liquid cocaine? That's literally sold everywhere?
It's called heroin.
Yeah, that heroin is. Sometimes I gotta sometimes I trick it into being like almost like a game where it's just, like, kind of challenge yourself to do something that's, like, ridiculous. If you get it, you're just like, I'm the man.
Yeah. Oh, know what helps is if you, not that hotel workers would ever talk about the guests. Oh my God. I give people backstories, or I just call it like I see it. Usually that's the backstory. You call it like you see it. So, like, somebody checks in at, like, 8 o'clock in the morning, and they're like, and I'm like, and I'm explaining things for in the hotel. They're like, and then they just say, oh yeah, I'm not going to even be here, like, the whole day. And I'm just like, oh, or, like, somebody, and then they're, like, just, like, working there because their kids are out of school for the day or whatever, and they still got to work, and they're just using the internet and then their laptop. Or somebody checks in at, like, 6 a.m. in the morning, and he just looks dirty, And I'm just like, who is this guy? And like, why is he here at this time? And then like you have to like Google his name, and then I'm like, oh, okay, he's a construction worker. Oh, so it's here he owns his own business. Okay, so
Oh yeah.
think about that when you go stay at another hotel. If you're acting sketchy, the front desk, if they're any good, will Google your name and your address.
Sick. Oh, he's in the Guinness Book of World Records as the world's dirtiest man.
Pigpen grew up. Good grief.
Yes.
It'd be funny if like the entire Peanuts gang just like slowly came in. You're like, oh, it's fucking Linus.
They grew up and now they became peanuts.
Yes. The best peanuts puppetry troupe on Broadway.
It's just like
Charlie
PENUS.
Brown do the
Honestly, I might have the opposite trouble that you guys have in trying to, like, you guys might go to, well, you know, I go to my coworkers to entertain myself too, but you guys probably go to your coworkers and like, chat at the water cooler and actually talk about sports and stuff. So I had the weirdest call last night. So I was working overnight. Oh, by the way, I've been up for 24 hours because I'm trying to throw my sleep clock back on to normal hours, and took those Romanian uppers, like I said, and
you gotta have that Baltic down.
I got a call from my former night auditor. God bless him. I had to fire him, but we had a nice chat last night, and I thought, like, this guy is like, oh my God, this guy like hates me now. Like I had to fire him and blah, blah, blah. And oh God. And so he called me to wish me Happy New Year. And we like talked for an hour. And I was just like, wow, that went on for an hour. But I don't know how much he knew, he might remember because, he like drifted off and he was slurring his words at the end of the conversation. But it's never a dull moment. Like I embrace the dull moments at the hotel. Like the no news is good news. Oh great, what can I do? Or oh my God, I can sit down and watch TV like everybody else does here. No shit.
All right, I love the way that you tell your stories. You're just like, oh, this guy, Manny, he was a great guy. Stole so much hotel property. Had to fire his ass.
Yeah, nice guy, super nice guy. 5 kids.
5 kids.
Stole all the towels.
I fired his ass.
He embezzled so much from our company. But other than that, great guy. Called him last week. He's having to call him.
He's like, yeah, he's doing horrible, but really nice guy. Yeah.
Dude, I remember.
I won't drink with him ever again after he roofied my drink. But I mean, other than that,
Great guy.
Were you guys ever around for when I was living in Portsmouth and I would abuse my shuttle privileges? I wasn't even working at that hotel anymore, and I would call Manny, and he would drive the shuttle down to my apartment, park at the Dunkin' Donuts. We'd all pile in, and it was only like a 10-minute walk to downtown. But when it's 0 degrees out, it's a long walk.
Oh yeah.
So we all pile in, and then if we ended the night early enough, he would come get us because the shuttle would usually end at like 11. And so if we were done by like 11:30, he'd still be at the hotel and he'd still come get us.
But if we weren't back, we were probably at that pizza place, blaring Steel Panther while a bunch of mobs were looking at us getting slices of pizza.
He's got the eyes of the panther.
It's Ryan over there being like, yeah, this song is about anal sex. So, pepperonis and, put a little extra sauce on that last one. I like it sloppy, if you know what I mean there, Karen.
What is it? Ugly stick? What,
turn out the lights!
What's on my dick? Someone hurt you with a ugly stick.
I want to fuck, but you make me sick. So turn out the lights. Turn out the lights. Good night, everybody. Buddy.
Guess we're gonna call that a podcast.
I hope all of you learned nothing.
Yes. Thank you to our sponsors, Bud Latte, Bush Latte, not Bud Latte, Bush Latte.
Bush Latte.
Bush Latte, sponsoring New Year's Eve everywhere.
Yes. Thank you to Andre Champagne for getting me royally fucked up over the weekend. Thank you very much.
Thank you to Andre 3000 for inventing Outcast.
And Florida Travel Board and Tourism Board. We will see you soon.
You gonna go back down to Florida?
I hope so.
Hey man, we gotta make a return back to Key West so that we can cause more damage to their economy.
And let's pick a weekend because JetBlue's giving away flights to Orlando, and we can just rent a car and drive down there.
Oh, big helps, huh?
Yep.
Well, for the IBS podcast, I'm Spider.
Let's go.
The middleman, man.
See you next week, everybody. Peace.
Peace.